Hey guys, welcome back. Today on The Untidy Artist, we'll be making a feather headband with Russian netting. I love the vintage feel of these headbands. Let's grab some supplies and get started. The first thing you'll need is a feather pad, and this is just a base that has several feathers that are curled really pretty attached to it. And then you'll need some loose feathers, about 4 or 5 loose feathers that coordinate with the feather pad. You'll need some fold-over stretch elastic. We'll be using this for our headband, or if you have just a headband, a stretchy headband laying around, you can just attach the feathers to that. And then you'll need a fun blingy button. I like the rhinestone button with this. You'll need some coordinating felt, some wire cutters, sharp scissors and a ruler, some Russian netting, and of course my glue gun set on low. Okay, so the first step is to measure our Russian netting. To do this, line your feather pad directly on top of the Russian netting, and you want to make sure that the top of the feather pad and the finished edge of the Russian netting are lined up at the top, and then just cut out a rectangle that fits the size of the pad. And the reason I do it this way is because all of the feather pads seem to be slightly different sizes, and you want the Russian netting to fit nicely over your feather pad. So by trimming around the feather pad to get your size of Russian netting, it works perfectly. And then once you have the rectangle cut out, you're going to trim the edges at the bottom at an angle so it matches up with the feather pad. And once again, you do it this way because they're all a little bit different in shape and size. And then you're going to trim it at an angle at the top, just a tiny bit. So when you're finished trimming your Russian netting, it should look like this and fit over the top of the pad nicely. Set the Russian netting aside, and the next step is to glue 2 of the loose feathers at the base of your feather pad. So you can see I just have 2 of the loose feathers glued right towards the bottom of the feather pad, and you want to line them kind of at an angle so they follow the shape of the feather pad underneath. And then you're going to put your Russian netting over the top of that. So I separate my 2 feathers that I just glued down, and I'm going to put a small dab of glue up about 1.5 to 2 inches, and this will tack our Russian netting into place, and then place a little dab of glue at the base of the feather pad also. You don't want to get a lot of glue mixed in with the feathers, and so I just gently press it down and hold it until it sets for just a minute. You don't want to mess with the glue too much or it will get all sticky in the feathers and it's not fun. And once that has dried, we're going to take a couple more of our loose feathers and place them over the top of the Russian netting. So we have 2 of the loose feathers underneath the Russian netting, and then we'll put 1 feather over the top of the Russian netting. And the number of feathers you use underneath and on top just depend on how full your feathers are and how fluffy and feathery you want it to be. And then that feather that you put in the middle will cover up the glue underneath where we attached the Russian netting to the feather pad. So now you have all of your feathers and your Russian netting attached. Set that aside, grab your felt and cut out a 1-inch square from your felt, and then round off the edges and cut the square into a circle. Next, you're going to take your felt and cut out a piece of felt for the back of your headband. So you want it to match the shape of the headband, and I just flip my little feather pad over and cut out kind of a triangle that's just smaller than the back of my feather pad, and you just want it to fit over the back of the headband. You want it to be, like I said, smaller than the headband, so it just kind of nestles inside the headband, and this is going to go on the back so it holds everything together. Now grab your button, and you'll see on my button, the back part of the button where the opening is for the buttonhole is raised And because I want my button to lay flat on my headband, I'm going to trim that little piece of metal off with my wire cutters. We just want to make sure that the button lays flat against the headband. Now we're going to assemble everything together. So grab your little round circle of felt and you're going to place it at the base of your feather pad. So that will all line up. And it will just give us something to attach our button to. So line the little piece of felt with some glue and glue it right to the base, right in the center of your feather pad. And then take your button, and I just lined the back of the button very carefully. I didn't want a whole bunch of glue showing through the button, but you want to make sure you have enough glue on the back that it will hold it in place. And then glue it down over the piece of felt, pressing firmly until the glue sets. The next step is to measure out your fold-over elastic for the length that you want your headband to be. Now I'm making an adult headband, so I wanted mine to be 18 inches. For a list of headband sizes, please see my downloadable link below. And once you've cut your fold-over elastic to the length you want it to be, place a little bit of glue at the very end of the elastic, loop the elastic up and around, and you're just going to barely overlap the elastic and tack it into place and hold it until the glue sets. Now place a big dab of glue on the top side of the headband, right where you just glued it together to overlap it. And you're going to pick up the headband and place the glue right at the base of your feather pad, right above your rhinestone button. And just hold that down firmly. And I kind of lift it up on both sides and glue underneath the fold-over elastic just a little bit, just to hold it into place. And then lift it up on the other side and glue up the pad maybe another inch or so. And then hold it down gently until the glue sets. And grab your piece of felt that you've already cut for the back of the headband, line it with a whole bunch of glue, and lay it down right over the fold-over elastic, holding the feather pad and the fold-over elastic together and giving it a nice finished look on the back. And once the glue has set, that's it. You have a gorgeous feather and Russian netting headband. I love the combination of the sparkly rhinestones and the feathers and the Russian netting. And I love that you can wear this headband flapper style to the side, or you can wear it up and down. They're also really fun for babies. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. Please check out some of my other tutorials. And if you liked this tutorial, give it a big thumbs up. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.